Hi, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to recommend some Halloween reads for those scaredy cats like me because I hate horror. I don't really see what's fun about being scared, but it is Halloween and I do really love Halloween. It's my birthday on Halloween, so I do like to get in the Halloween mood by reading some kind of Halloween themed books that aren't going to scare me to death. So there's only about 5 books on this list, so it should hopefully be a quick video. The first book I want to mention is Last Time I Lied by Riley Saghir. So this is a thriller that came out this year and I loved it. I did do a full review which I will link down below for you. And I think this is just perfect for those dark autumn nights, especially around Halloween, because this did freak me out quite a bit. I had to go to make sure my doors and windows were all locked when I was back in the flat. So yeah, definitely perfect for Halloween. This follows a girl who, when she was younger, she went to a camp and 3 of her roommates all went missing. We now see her in the future when she's invited back to be a teacher at the camp, and she now wants to find out what's happened to these 3 girls who have basically haunted her whole life. And why I think this is amazing for Halloween is that, well, it literally deals with ghosts. You've also got an insane asylum included in it as well. But it just has you on the edge of your seat, which I think is just what you need with a Halloween read. Also very, very atmospheric as well. The way that Riley describes stuff, it makes you think that you are actually there in the book and you're this character wants to find out what happened, who's being haunted. And yeah, really, really good. I really, really recommend this book. Another great Halloween read is The World of Law, Monstrous Creatures by Aaron Mahnke. So you may recognise Law from the famous podcast by the same name, by the same person. I do love the podcast, but sometimes I do have to stop listening to it because it does freak me out quite a bit, especially the music. I thought this would be better because it obviously doesn't have the music and I can read at my own pace, but still I did get quite freaked out. This basically deals with all the monstrous creatures you see in Law, like vampires, werewolves, plus some ones that you don't really know about. Some bits did really freak me out. The stuff in the past was okay, but it's when he talks about reports from the present about these creatures, that's when I get freaked out, because you don't really hear about many of these things in the present. So when someone's there reporting stuff in the present and it's more than one person, I get a bit scared, but I do just love it, and there's great illustrations as well. I will just show you some. So there's like these at the beginning of every chapter. I just really love it, and there's a second book out as well. Sorry, I'm trying to find you another illustration. There's a second book out as well, but I can't find the hardback edition in the UK. I can't seem to find it at Book Depository. When I pre-ordered the hardback on Waterstones, I was told it was no longer available in the UK. So I'm quite annoyed because I think there's also a 3rd book coming out. I think he's bringing out quite a few in quick succession. So if anybody can find the hardback editions for someone in the UK, I would be so happy if you told me, because I really want the whole collection, because the Law podcast is amazing. And if you do like that kind of thing, this would be perfect for Halloween. Then we've got The Whitby Witches by Robin Jarvis. This is a book that I picked up on my trip to Whitby last year because I wanted to read some more books set in my favourite seaside town. I didn't realise this was a children's book when I picked it up, but I still loved it so much. This follows 2 orphans who get sent to their 92-year-old aunt's in Whitby, and there they find out she's a leader of a coven and is a witch, and it all goes from there. It does get quite spooky to say it's a children's book, but I think that's just because the author drags you in again and you are there in the moment and you're just like, oh my god, oh my god. Also, Whitby, it's a very scary place. I find Whitby so freaky, and I think that's just because of Dracula. I love going there, I love going up to the Abbey where a lot of this is set. And the fact that I knew a lot of the places made me really freaked out when I was reading this. So I think that was great for me personally. But if you like your kind of spooky, funny children's books, this will be perfect for you. And also I just love this illustration as well. It is part of a series, but I don't think I'm going to carry on with the series. I think this is just brilliant as a one-off. But if you want to introduce your kids to something this Halloween, I would definitely recommend this. Next one I want to recommend is Room 13 by Robert Swindells. This is another children's book, but for me personally it's got so much nostalgia in it. This was read to me when I was in year 4 by my teacher and I loved it. I think this is what got me interested in vampires, to be honest, and it freaked me out as a kid, and ever since then I've been looking for this book. I never found it until I went into an independent bookstore in Whitby, the same one that I got the Whitby Witches from, and it was there. So of course, the first thing I did was picked it up and added it to my pile of books to get. I think a lot of people in the UK had this read to them at school. It must have been required reading or something like that, but I thought I was special and it was just a book that my teacher liked to read, but obviously not. When I posted something on Facebook, I had quite a few people getting back to me going, oh my god, I read that and I loved it as a kid. Reading it as an adult, I still really liked it. There were parts of it as a kid that really freaked me out. Like there used to be a Dracula experience in Whitby. There's a part of this book set in there and it scared me to death. What this is about a school's trip to Whitby, and in the hotel the children are staying in, there's no room 13. It basically goes 11, 12, 14, 15 until midnight when room 13 suddenly appears and one of their classmates suddenly has bite marks on their neck and is going very pale. So I think we all know where that is leading. But I just love it. Even rereading it as an adult, I still loved it. I don't know if that's just me personally because of all the nostalgia, but again, if you've got a child or if you just want to read something that's not too scary but has Halloween-y themes, I would definitely check this out. This is one of my big recommendations for this video. Next one is another all-time favourite, and that is Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I was one of the people who saw the film and didn't realise it was based on a book. I read the book and it still freaks me out as much as the film. The film, for a children's film, scares me to death. It's a little other mother. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail in case you haven't seen it. This is the book by Neil Gaiman and it's got illustrations by Chris Riddle as well, which are great. See, these illustrations by Chris Riddle, they're kind of the reason why this freaked me out, and also another reason why it's great Halloween reading as well. Just because, look at them, it's just so weird and freaky for a kid's book. But if you do not know, Coraline moves house with her parents, but everything's not going to plan. Parents are kind of like abandoning her because they're busy with the move and new jobs, until Coraline finds a tunnel into a new world where she has another mother with buttons for eyes. This world is so much better until it starts to get a bit freaky and scary, and that's where it all goes from there. But I just love this. Again, this is lots of nostalgia, but also just all the illustrations as well. They're just freaky and I love the story. This makes for a great Halloween read for both adults and children. Sorry if I could tell my voice is going, but thankfully I only have one book left, so hopefully I can get to the end of this video. But last one is my all-time favourite classic, and that is Dracula by Bram Stoker. If you know me, you will know that this will appear in almost any of my favourite videos. I know Dracula is classed as a horror, but for me as a scaredy cat, it didn't really scare me that much. But even if you are a scaredy cat, I would really recommend this. This is a book that you must read. Dracula is so underrated when you compare it to like how popular Jane Austen and the Brontes are. Dracula has set off so many things, like the whole vampire thing we had a few years ago. It's all based off Dracula, so just go read Dracula. This is also set in Whitby, and Dracula comes to Whitby and a group of people including Van Helsing and my all-time favourite female character in the classic, Mina Harker, has to go and try and stop him, and it's just so great. You've got like insane asylums, you've got Dracula himself. I just love it. Yes, it can get a bit freaky, you know, they've got blood transfusions, Dracula himself, the insane asylum can sometimes get me a bit freaky with that, but I just really loved it, and it's not as scary as people think. People think this is a horror, but I don't really think it is. First few chapters, yeah, did leave me a bit freaked out, but apart from that, it's totally fine. I really recommend this book because it is so good and so underrated. That's it for my Halloween reads for scaredy cats like me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any other good Halloween reads that are for people who don't like horrors like myself, feel free to comment down below because I would love to try those out. Maybe not this Halloween as I am really busy. It might be Halloween next year, but feel free to comment down below because I always like finding out new and exciting reads. Anyway, I will see you later with a new video. Bye!